There's a quote from Stephen Cyrus that says, "When a disaster strikes, the time to prepare has passed." And that's very true. Every year, January is observed as Earthquake Awareness Month, and each of us owe it to ourselves to know what to do in the event of emergencies like earthquakes. So, on the show today, we share the preparedness of the security forces and highlight achievements in 2025 for the Ministry of Energy, Transport, and Telecommunications. There's more, so stay tuned to this installment of Jamaica Magazine. I am Jabertha Atkinson. Welcome.
Are you living on or in possession of family land? Do you want to sell or subdivide the property? Use eLand Jamaica to search for details on the property. You can complete a title search and verify the owner before you sell the property. If your name does not appear on the title, register the land or clarify the existing title in your name before you sell. A title is a notice to the world of your ownership of land. For more information, contact the National Land Agency at 876-750-5263 or 876-946-5263. The National Land Agency, one agency, one goal to serve you better.
Good day, I'm Twyla Whelan and this is your JS News for Thursday, January 15, 2026. Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness has renewed his call for the private sector to significantly increase investments in cutting-edge technologies to boost productivity and contribute to economic growth. The appeal was made on Tuesday at the opening of the $35 million brewery and manufacturing facility by the Wisynco Group in Lake Spence, St. Catherine.
Let's expand the investment. But not just any kind of investment. You want cutting-edge investment, because the cutting edge that incorporates technology increases your productivity.
Dr. Holness asserts that investments in modern plants and technology are necessary to expand output, create resilient jobs, and strengthen the country's long-term independence.
Now is the time for you to be thinking creatively. Now is the time for you to be entrepreneurial, as you are the entrepreneurial class. Now is the time to be thinking on big projects, not small, timid projects, but large-scale projects that will move the needle.
The Prime Minister has commended Wisynco Group on their investment, noting that the brewery reflects the importance of manufacturing as an anchor of productivity across the economy. The government has issued a new guidance note for buying goods, services, and works during emergencies. The move comes in response to emergency procurement needs after Hurricane Melissa. The update was announced by Jovel Barrett, Chief Public Procurement Policy Officer at the Ministry of Finance and the Public Service, during a recent JIS think tank.
There is still a need and a duty on entities to remain accountable to the Jamaican people for every dollar that is spent during this time. And so there is a requirement for there to be a balance between speed and accountability, and that is exactly what Guidance Note number 2 of 2025, which has been issued to procuring entities, does and outlines.
The Public Procurement Act always allowed for emergency procurement to be done, but it was limited to single-source procurement. The law was amended in 2025 to exempt emergency procurement from the normal procurement methods and processes. The amendment allows more flexibility during emergencies. It means agencies can now choose the best method to respond quickly when a crisis occurs.
Guidance Note number 2 of 2025 provides the terms and conditions that every ministry, department, and agency and local authority must follow whenever emergency procurement is used. Emergency procurement is not a shortcut. It is not a tool to be used for things that are not real emergencies. There must be a real emergency. And the law clearly outlines what the conditions are for using the emergency procurement rules.
Legislation has been tabled in Parliament to increase the pay for jurors and allow judges to dismiss juries where tampering is detected. Minister of Justice and Constitutional Affairs Delroy Chuck tabled the Jury Act Amendment Bill on Tuesday. The proposed amendments include increasing juror pay from $2,000 to $6,000 per day and introducing a $2,000 daily payment for individuals participating in jury selection.
While the adjustment is modest, it reflects, Mr. Speaker, an acknowledgement of the financial burden that jury duty can impose on ordinary citizens who set aside their important daily responsibilities to fulfill this important civic obligation.
The Justice Minister also announced that a joint select committee of Parliament would be established to review other matters related to the Jury Act. These include examining whether jury trials should continue to be a feature of the court system.
The matter of jury trials versus bench trials has been in the public domain for quite some time, with Chief Justice the Honorable Brian Sykes publicly declaring and encouraging defense lawyers to make greater use of the latter as one solution towards reducing the case backlog in the criminal courts.
Minister Chuck says the issue should be decided by Parliament with input from stakeholders within the justice system and the wider public. Minister of Health and Wellness Dr. Christopher Tufton has appointed a 6-member institutional review committee to address reported accountability gaps in the operations of the University Hospital of the West Indies, UHWI. The governance and accountability gaps were highlighted by the Auditor General's report on ensuring value for money in public health procurement at the hospital. The audit report was tabled in Parliament on Tuesday. The Institutional Review Committee is to be chaired by past President of the Private Sector Organization of Jamaica, Howard Mitchell. The other members are retired Deputy CEO of the Grace Kennedy Financial Group, Joseph Taff, Deputy Principal of UWI-Mona, Dr. Tomlin Paul, Attorney at Law Angela Robertson, Chief Program Officer at the Ministry of Health and Wellness, Cadian Birch, and Emeritus Professor of International Business at UWI-Mona, Professor Alvin Wint. The members will review and identify gaps and/or weaknesses in the UHWI's corporate governance and management structures. They are also tasked with reviewing its financial, public procurement and administrative management systems and corporate risk management systems. The committee is to present a report with its recommendations to the minister within 4 months. The Ministry of Agriculture is on a drive to revive the local coffee industry in the wake of Hurricane Melissa's devastating impact on the sector, with the distribution of thousands of seedlings and other inputs free of cost to farmers. Portfolio Minister Floyd Green gave an update on the ministry's interventions during the recent celebration of Jamaica Blue Mountain Coffee Day.
To date, we've already distributed about 15,000 coffee seedlings. Today, we're embarking on a drive to plant another 1,000 seedlings. And as you have heard, we're looking to make 60,000 seedlings available for you, the coffee farmer. And all of this is free of cost.
Fertilizers, herbicides, fungicides, and other critical inputs are also being provided to help coffee farmers restore productivity. And in a push for farmers to intercrop their coffee, Minister Green says short-term crop seedlings will also be made available through RADA and the Jamaica Agricultural Commodities Regulatory Authority, JACRA.
We know when we give you these new trees, it will take some time for you to get the return from the investment. So we want you to plant some of our shorter-term crops in between the coffee so you can get that return and use that money to continue to drive your coffee. And we will provide you with those seedlings again free of cost.
A ceremonial planting exercise symbolizing renewal of the coffee industry was held during the Jamaica Blue Mountain Coffee Day function at the Guava Ridge Basic School in St. Andrew. And finally, the National Solid Waste Management Authority, NSWMA, has launched a debris management unit to rid the country of high volumes of debris following Hurricane Melissa. Executive Director of the NSWMA, Audley Gordon, made the disclosure during a press briefing at the agency's head office on Monday. He outlined that the entity had a major challenge managing the usual domestic garbage collection and collecting hurricane-generated debris from across the island.
It is absolutely necessary because the scope of this particular debris management project requires a kind of administrative and operational focus that would be very distracting and in fact destabilizing of the regular domestic garbage collection operation. We could not do the two things at once with the same leadership, focusing on both and doing them successfully.
He stresses that the debris management unit, though temporary, is of significant importance.
So we have a director, 2 managers and other members of staff that is dedicated now to look at this on a day-to-day. They have at their disposal 10 brand new tipper trucks. They will be engaging private trucks to assist the process.
The NSWMA is also urging the public to exercise patience as crews work to remove hurricane debris and restore communities. And that's it for JS News Today. I'm Twyla Whelan. Thanks for watching.
Record number of buses purchased, changes made to the energy sector, and Hurricane Melissa put our utilities to the test. Let's recap those high points in 2025 within the Ministry of Energy, Transport and Telecommunications. In 2025, Jamaica was on the move, literally and figuratively. From the streets of Kingston to rural communities, innovation, connectivity, and resilience took center stage. Out with the old and in with the new. The Jamaica Urban Transit Company, JUTC, accelerated its drive toward modernization, beginning with the rollout of its new SmartFare system, designed to make transactions easier, faster, and more efficient for commuters.
Vendors can now access the system through PCs, tablets, or their mobile devices.
New payment system? Check. New buses? Double check. To strengthen reliability and reduce wait time, the JUTC expanded its fleet with 63 compressed natural gas CNG buses. An additional 30 diesel coach buses were added, 3 of which are equipped to better serve members of the disabled community. With commuters top of mind, the JUTC also launched its Rural Express service, connecting residents in rural areas with Kingston, Mandeville, Negril, Montego Bay, and Port Antonio.
It's an expansion of the JUTC service outside of the ATMR. So that's very, very attractive. But most importantly, it's giving options to the rural citizens across Jamaica. September morning, come in schoolers, come in!
60 of 110 school buses were deployed for the September 2025 academic year. This provided dedicated transportation for approximately 258 schools, reaching nearly 30% of the rural school population.
The program focuses on 2 core areas: house wiring to ensure legal and safe electricity access, and pole line extension to expand the grid into previously unserved areas. So far, the results are transformative. Over 4,000 homes in 50 communities across 7 parishes have received free house wiring.
Petrojam secured a significant $90 million or approximately 14 billion Jamaican dollar deal to supply Trinidad and Tobago with high sulfur and very low sulfur fuel oil for refueling ships, marking a major boost to Jamaica's energy exports and foreign exchange. Shipments began in January 2025.
All the members of parliament in the affected areas will get a mobile Starlink. All the mayors will get a mobile Starlink, and obviously the leader of the opposition will get a mobile Starlink, and several others.
Starlink technology was also deployed to provide community Wi-Fi, while mobile charging stations helped restore communication in impacted areas. Toll rates were conditionally suspended to support the movement of relief teams. And through the National Energy Poverty Reduction Project, vulnerable households received targeted assistance to restore safe electrical access.
Focuses on restoring safe electrical access, repairing homes, providing house wiring for regularization, and supporting GER recertification and offering small solar solutions to vulnerable groups.
The Island Traffic Authority and Tax Administration Jamaica rolled out two major upgrades, the new e-fitness system and the Electronic Motor Vehicle Registration Certificate EMVRC system. Together, they fully digitized the fitness and registration process. That means no more registration stickers, no paper fitness certificates. All vehicle documents are now issued and sent electronically. A more efficient, more connected, and more resilient Jamaica. That was the story of 2025.
In 2025, the Ministry of Education, Skills, Youth and Information took bold steps to reshape Jamaica's education landscape. And the major highlights will be featured inside Jamaica Magazine, Friday, January 16. Don't miss it.
As we observe Earthquake Awareness Week from January 11 to 18, one of our first responders, the security forces, share their level of preparedness.
Jamaica is prone to earthquakes. The country's susceptibility to this natural disaster is because the island sits on a very active Caribbean plate margin. An earthquake is a sudden violent shaking of the ground as a result of movements within the Earth's crust or volcanic action. Although earthquakes can be devastating, the country's security forces are equipped to deal with any eventualities. Once an earthquake happens, both the Jamaica Constabulary Force and the Jamaica Defense Force will initiate procedures and set up their communication centers to disseminate information. An individual from each entity would be the liaison officer between the Office of Disaster Preparedness and Emergency Management, ODPEM, and the security forces. This will aid in efficiently deploying individuals to affected areas.
In the initial phase, the JCF would establish a command post at the Police Emergency Communication Center, gather information as to what transpired or what occurred, and to provide that information to ODPEM.
The security forces will also provide safety, especially where dislocation happens.
We would be required to ensure that the area or areas affected are properly cordoned and secured. We'd have to ensure that routes leading to and from our major hospitals are clear, or to provide information as to the clearest and safest routes to and from those hospitals, and ensure that they are maintained in a safe manner for the emergency units to respond.
A key asset of the JDF in the aftermath of an earthquake is the Disaster Assistant Response Team, DART. This team includes specialized engineers, medical practitioners, and logisticians, among others.
They are so equipped that they can be moved to anywhere in the island and be self-sufficient for a period of time in assisting ODPEM or the government of Jamaica in general with any disaster.
The JDF has many capabilities. Its engineers can help with heavy equipment and search and rescue, while its medical personnel can be projected to other places across the island and assist the Ministry of Health with providing care to injured persons. The JDF also has an air wing that comes in handy during disasters such as earthquakes.
Or strategic aircrafts that we're able to use to hoist goods, equipment, etc. as required from one place to another. In an earthquake, the likelihood of the roadways being blocked or congested exists, and as such the movement of cargo, etc. for assistance will be reduced.
And if there is a fire after an earthquake?
Our aircrafts are also equipped to move personnel as well as to assist the JFB, particularly in areas where we might have fires, fires in urban areas, etc. We are so equipped to use what we call a Bambi bucket system to douse such fires.
The additional assets of the Defense Force provide further assurances to other sections of the island as well.
Now, in the JDF, all soldiers are disaster risk officers. So for those that are in the western side of the island, if the disaster is concentrated in the western side of the island, they have the basic training that is required to then start the process of assisting the ministry elements, ODPM, etc. There until our specialized elements are moved to that area.
Unfortunately, when disasters happen, sometimes there are unscrupulous individuals who carry out acts to capitalize on the vulnerability of others. Both the JCF and the JDF say they are able and willing to prevent crimes of opportunity.
Ensure that those who would want to seize the opportunity to commit crimes, such as looting, don't get that opportunity.
Of course, last but not least, the JDF assists the JCF with internal security, policing, so to speak, within the country. In an earthquake situation, there might be need for key point protection, protecting of key installations to prevent theft, etc. We are ready and able to deploy to assist the JCF to ensure that these things does not happen.
Jamaica has had several major earthquakes and tremors. The earthquake unit, which records seismic activities on the island, recorded a 5.4 magnitude earthquake on January 13, 1993. It was the most significant earthquake recorded since 1957. As a result of this earthquake, Jamaica experienced damage to houses, buildings, and other infrastructure. So although there are no specific times for earthquakes to strike, citizens and other individuals can be assured that the security forces are ready to act if a seismic activity occurs.
Apply to the Heart NSTA Trust. Learn a new skill and expand your horizons. Your government has made it completely free to you.
Up next, a more confidential way of knowing your HIV status.
The National Family Planning Board takes pride in launching HIV self-testing as another option for persons who want to know their HIV status. And yes, it is here. We're putting this product into the hands of members of the public through a very important public-private partnership through the pharmacies, and this will facilitate our reach to a wider audience. This kit allows persons to self-test within the comfort of their homes or to opt for self-test at a healthcare facility. You and your partner can do the test. So we're encouraging the sexually active persons at high risk to make use of available kits to determine their HIV status.
The National HIV Program is continuing its mandate of ensuring the provision of care through this new modality. This joins existing modalities of provider-initiated testing and counseling offered at our health facilities, outreach testing provided by our prevention team, and targeted testing through contact tracing and counseling. Testing allows for two things: the indication of a positive test or the provision of a negative result. For all persons who do self-testing, there are also avenues available for prevention, for treatment, and counseling. So we're not just sending you to do a self-test at home. All health facilities in Jamaica can guide you through the process of a positive or a negative test. However, there are 44 treatment sites in the public and private setting that you can go to get expert treatment and management of any HIV condition and HIV itself. The listing of all these health facilities is available on the Ministry of Health and Wellness's website. It will be available at the pharmacies that will be doing the self-testing, and it will also be available on our NFPB website. This initiative by the Ministry of Health and Wellness through the National Family Planning Board is welcomed as Jamaica moves towards epidemiological control of HIV.
You have the fluid for actually conducting the test and your swab stick that you will use and test for your results. Now, when persons hear about the oral test, they usually think that it's just push it into your mouth, but we don't want to be testing the saliva. You actually need to rub along the gum line, both top and bottom of the gum, to ensure, and it's kind of, you have to do it hard to ensure that you are getting the cells. And you insert it in the container. Now you'll have to wait for 20 minutes to read it. It is suggested that you read at 20 minutes, not long after, not before. So there you go. Your results will be presented here. If you get a reactive or a positive result, you need to ensure that this result is confirmed through a confirmatory test. So you can go to any one of our treatment sites to get a confirmatory test done.
We are proud to partner with the Ministry of Health and the National Family Planning Board, and we are pleased to add this to our list of services. This is indeed a step in the right direction as we empower our communities to take greater control of their health.
Young Jamaicans up to 35, your government will reserve up to 10% of NHT housing solutions over the next 5 years just for you with 100% financing up to 15 million Jamaican dollars. This is how we are empowering and breaking the cycle of poverty meaningfully. Your government is caring for you.
The proceeding was brought to you by the Office of the Prime Minister.
This is where our journey ends, but only for today. Join us again tomorrow for another informative program. In the meantime, stay connected via our website, jis.gov.jm, and while you're online, send your feedback to Jamaica Magazine at jis.gov.jm or via X at JIS News. You may also find us on all the major social media platforms and through our mobile app that's Android and iOS compatible. On behalf of the production crew, I am Jabertha Atkinson. Take care.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.